Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The important news and editorial that will be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 1st of April. The first important news is regarding CERT that may be exempted from the RTI Act purview. What are the concerns that has been raised and why the exemption will be given? We'll see the detail. Second, UK to join Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Treaty, something very important for current affair, and specifically those aspirants who are having PSIR as an option, उनके लिए काफी ज़्यादा relevant. Third, that is combined index of core industries witness growth. Second last, that is US to transfer antiquities to India. And the last is an editorial, India's semiconductor missions might need a compass. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And still, if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. And if you're someone who's preparing for civil services this time, you're appearing for the prelims examination, you have to practice a lot many questions. And in this regard, we have prelims test series where 60 high quality tests, which include 6,000 plus question will be provided. Along with this, you'll also get 12-month IS Guested subscription. These are the current affairs compilation, very important and must read for UPSC Civil Services examination. So starting the session with the first news, that is CERT in May to be exempted from RTI Act purview, something relevant for General Studies Paper 2. Under the subtopic, that is government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementation. So recently, the Department of Personnel and Training, also known as DOPT, has informed the Parliament that CERT, which is Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, may soon be exempted from responding the queries under RTI Act 2005. RTI is an act which is something very important for citizens of this country to get the information from any specific department of the government of India. Now, the DOPT has cited the reason that because of the data sensitivity, the RTI information will not be entertained by the CERT. So the ministry have proposed that this particular things to the Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology to include CERT in the second schedule of RT Act, right? That is the Right to Information Act. Something very important from here, a direct question can be framed in prelims examination. Now the waivers will allow the agencies to reject applications for information even on the policy matters. So apart from various securities and data sensitivities too, ये पावर होगी CERT के पास वो policies related matters पे भी RTI के respond ना करें. Now one thing that is important here, what is listed under second schedule, और second schedule जो है RTI की वो किस तरह से empower करती है. So if you talk about the second schedule of the RTI Act, so under this, the intelligence and the security organization specified in the second schedule are exempted from disclosing information except about the allegation of corruptions or human right की violations. So दो conditions अगर mandatorily satisfy हो रही हैं, then only they are liable to provide the information. The first is about the corruption charges and second is the violation of human right, right? Now, which are the organization that is listed or that is a part of second schedule of the RTI Act? These are the list of agencies. Now, very soon, CERT will also join the league. This include the Intelligence Bureau, RAW, that is Research and Analysis Wing of the Cabinet Secretariat, Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. I'm just reading out some of them. You can pause this video and you can just read it completely. CEI, that is of Central Economic Intelligence, DE, that is Enforcement Directorate, नार्कोटिक्स कंट्रोल ब्यूरो, एविएशन रिसर्च और ऐसे कई ऐसे एजेंसीज हैं, सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेज हैं जो कि एग्जेम्प्टेड हैं to provide the RTI information under the exemptions are given under the Schedule 2 of the RTI Act 2005. Now, what would the exemption mean? How significant it is going to be for CERT? So the exemption will allow CERT to reject the applications for information. Even on the policy matters, they are not liable to provide the information. And the significant body, like if you see the part of the directions that is given, specifically for the VPN networks, providers and cryptocurrencies firms to preserve the users data. Now, इसी context में Delhi High Court ने एक directives दिए हैं. Delhi High Court has said that these security agencies are not liable to provide the security information because they have been exempted under second schedule of the RTI Act, right? Now, several measures VPN providers have pulled their servers out of India, arguing their directions would compromise user privacy on the internet. Now, brief about CERT, because we are discussing this news, so this become important for you to know some basics about CERT. This was established as an organization in 2004, fully functional under Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology. It's a nodal agency for responding the computer security incidents in the country, anywhere specifically. और ये पूरे इंडिया को पैन इंडिया एक ऐसी बॉडी है जो कि मॉनिटर करती है इंपॉर्टेंट गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. Now, CERT coordinates with the public and private organizations in India when it comes to cyber security, specifically the breach of data, ransom attack that are reported. Now, it also issues the advisory and software vulnerabilities guideline to the various organizations, also aiding various state government and organization to a larger extent. Now, functions की अगर बात करें, I'll tell you briefly what are the functions that is there. So first is the collection and analysis and disseminations of information. Second, forecast and alert of cyber security incidents. Third is emergency measures for handling cyber security incidents, coordinations of cyber incidents and response activities, issues, guideline, advisory, vulnerability, and other white papers, preventions of response, even reporting of cyber incidents, and last but not the least is functions related to cyber security that may be prescribed to this by the government. So these are the major functions of the CERTI. Moving to the other news, UK to join Trans-Pacific Partnership as a trade treaty, something important for General Studies Paper 2, that is bilateral regional grouping and agreements. So announcement coming from the UK government that they have agreed to join 11 countries Trans-Pacific Trade Pact, and they're forward looking to deepen their ties after the Brexit, or you can say European Union से exit करने के बाद ब्रिटेन के लिए एक सबसे important agreement होंगे. The country will become the first new members, the first in Europe to join the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement Trans-Pacific Partnership, better known as CPTPP, since it came into force in 2018. So there can be a direct question, which country from European Union is the first country to join the CPTPP? Now, a brief about the CPTPP, that is a Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement. It's a successor to the Trans-Pacific Trade Pact. I think most of you must be aware. आप इसके countries check कर ले कौन-कौन से countries members हैं. And this withdrawal was there from the President Donald Trump since 2017. Actually, they've withdrawn it. Now, its member include G7, which is like Canada and Japan. This is a historic UK allies with Australia and New Zealand. And the remaining members are Mexico, Chile, Peru, along with Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, and Brunei. Now, the other bloc include, this particular bloc, which I'm discussing, include 500 million people with worth of 15% of the global GDP. And once UK join, that will be the more part that will be augmented. This is the data that is from the International Monetary Fund. Now, what will be the significance of the treaty for the member country and specifically for United Kingdom? So UK government, they said that the deal will mean more than 99% of the British export. Some of the key market and important ingredients include cheese, cars, chocolates, machines, gins, whiskies are the part where they'll have a zero tariff. Now, the UK government has also claimed that the deal would add 1.8 billion pound, that is 2.2 billion annually, to the US economy in a longer run. So UK economy को काफी ज़्यादा benefit होगी. However, this translates the modest boost to 0.8% to the UK GDP as well. Now, the government said that the deal will be a gateway to Indo-Pacific region also, where it would account for majority, almost close to 57% of the global growth in future. And UK is currently negotiating free trade deal with India also, and India is looking forward to augment the part of the FTA with United Kingdom, right? So this is very significant. Now moving ahead, that is combined index of core industries witness growth, something important for General Studies paper 3. That is Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth and development. So according to the latest data, which was released by the Ministry of Commerce and Industries, they have said that the productions of 8 core industries has expanded to 6%. This has expanded to 6%. The number is important. And this is again 5.9, which was their last year for this particular month. So पिछले February की अगर बात करें, this is for Feb 2022, it was 5.9 and now it is 6%, a marginal increase. Now the growth in February and lowest in the last 3 months, पिछले 3 वर्षों में, basically for last 3 months actually, this is on the pretty lower side. The output of the core sector has increased by 8.9% in January, 7% for part of the December, right? So these are the output that we have seen, and 5% in November, that is for 2022. Now, which are the 8 core sector? Already UPSC have asked this question in this regard, the number of the sectors and the name of the sector. So I think it is very important for you to know. These are coal, crude oil, natural gases, refinery products, fertilizers, steel, cements, and electricity. So these are the 8 sectors which together comprises the part of the index. Now in the news, what is there, we'll be taking into account is sector wise kya performance hui hai. So what I have did in this particular content, that you see the weightage of the sector has been accordingly arranged. तो सबसे ज़्यादा जिस सेक्टर की प्रायोरिटी है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली इसको अरेंज की गई है. And for you, it is also important to know which sector has a maximum weight. And the current change, this is for Feb 2023, has been mentioned at the side, at the left hand side. So अगर refinery के product की बात करें, this has 28.4% weight. और जो current growth देखी गई है 2023 में for February, all the data is for February, right? So this is 3.3% for refinery. Electricity generations की weight है 19.85 और इसकी growth हुई है 7.6. Steel productions की weight है 17.92 and this has increased by 6.9. Coal productions is the weight of 10.3% in total productions, in total weight in terms of sectors, और इसकी growth हुई है 8.5%, right? Crude oil production has a weight of 8.98% and the growth is 4.9%. Natural gas has a weight of 6.8% and the growth is 3.2%. Cement accordingly 5.37, increase have been seen with 7.3, and the production, fertilizer production is 2.63, increase of 22.2%. And coal sectors of like the core sector of key infrastructure industries have 40% of the weight in the overall part, right? So this is important. Now, why I'm emphasizing on the part of the weight which is there? See, there will be a question in prelims where they will ask you to arrange the weight, right? This type of question is favorite for UPSC prelims. So if you'll read newspaper, the newspaper has arranged the priority given to the maximum growth, that is for the fertilizer sector, which has grown to 22% for this particular calculation. But for you as an aspirant, आपको weight के accordingly सारी चीजें याद करनी है, that will be relevant, right? Now, moving to the other news, US to transfer antiquities to India, something relevant for General Studies paper 2, that is Indian culture, that will cover the salient feature of art form architecture from ancient to modern times. The prestigious Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is there in US, has said that they will return 15 sculptures to India after it was learned that the antiquities were illegally removed from country, that is in India, and sold to notorious smugglers Subhas Kapoor, right? So these type of information is again important. You can even use here and there in the prelims. The New York Supreme Court has issued the search warrant against the museum, and out of the 15 items that is there, search warrant has been given for 10 items. And this was also reported by Indian media newspaper, the print house, that is Indian Express. Now, the list of the important sculptures that is there among all 15, this you must know. The first is the rettle form that is there for yaksha. This is for terracotta. First century BE, this was there in West Bengal. Now, we have citadel dance of sandstone. This is from the 11th century in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh की अगर बात करें, Khajuraho are the place where a lot of specific architectures is built by the Chandel dynasty. Important place and important temples architectures are there in Khajuraho. Now, the list of important sculptures are there include Avana Folra title, which is there for 3rd to 4th century in Jammu and Kashmir. And the other is Parikara brass inlaid with silver. This is there in Gujarat, right? So these sculptures become important for prelims examination. Now, action that was taken by the US court, the search warrant stated that the item was stolen and constitute the evidence of a crime that as a stolen property. Now this will be returned back to India and there will be legal action as per the US penal laws. A value of 15 ita antiques is listed to be around 1.201 million, nearly 9.8 crore rupees. And the US Homeland Security has described Kapoor, the Kapoor who one is a notorious criminal who has given this crime an act, though there will be prophylactic part of commodity smuggler in the world. So there will be actions against him as per the US Penal Code. Now, India's semiconductor mission might need a compass. This is editorial for the day. Something relevant for General Studies Paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from it. So what I'm discussing under this editorial, first the theme is India's semiconductor missions, India's semiconductor laboratory attracting investment and the way forward. Now, India's semiconductor mission has been set up as an independent business division under the Digital India Corporation और ISM की अगर बात करें इसमें एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव और फाइनेंशियल पावर टास्क की गई है ताकि जो इंडिया की सेमीकंडक्टर इकोसिस्टम है उसको ऑगमेंट किया जा सके, उसके मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को बढ़ाया जा सके, पैकेजिंग को इंप्रूव किया जा सके, एंड इवन द पार्ट ऑफ द डिजाइन नीड टू बी ऑगमेंटेड. द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कॉमर्स has said that they have actually signed an MOU with India. The memorandum of understanding is there in March 2023 to ensure the subsidies for each countries in the way to find and even to make reality for India's semiconductor dream. Semiconductor laboratories की अगर बात करें, again very important. The Semiconductor Laboratories was set up in Mohali in 1983, which has a visions to create electronic ecosystem. Well, the companies like Ketron, Uptrons, and Webel were trading entities at the pre-labelized India with the consumer electronics. And SCL, that is the Semiconductor Laboratory Mohali, has used the technology where India has improved on the part of Aadhaar, Arogya Setu, UPI, and acting as a multiplier effect, increasing the part of integrated circuit design. And many other startup has also considered this design and they find that this sector has a potential and further it can be improved to a larger extent. Now it's a lucrative market. Definitely semiconductor is a lucrative market. Agar chips vendors ki baat kare, Intel is among the company which is highest. Samsung, Sky Hynix, Microtechnology, Qualcomm, these are the companies which is there, right? And India locally source semiconductor component. So these are for specifically industries, followed by automobile, aerospace and defense, then consumer, mobile, IT and other activities. And this is augmented to further increase by 2026. Maximum will be go to industry, then automobile and other aerospace and defense sector. But the point to be noted that this sector of IT and consumer will drastically increase by 26% and 26%. Now, investment attraction is very important. They need to have an investment because this sectors need a lot of costing that is involved. So MIT has said that the attraction will attract the companies like Intel, which will be coming to India for fabrications unit. The semiconductor fabrication, we call it fab in short. So the investment of around 50 to 100 million may result in development of India solution for automobiles, जिसमें कि EV tractions, inventors, part of chargers, PV inventors, 5G infra, power amplifiers, बहुत सारे ऐसे machines हैं जो build की जाएगी, which will be equivalent to international standard, and some of the companies like Bosch, Siemens, ABB, Mitsubishi, Thales and Elta. So these are some of the global reputed company which is on the part of the manufacturing of semiconductors fabrications. Now, they will be inferred from the word of request of the proposal signing the Minister of Information and Information Technology. So there will be a part of collaboration that will be made. Now, to conclude the part of the editorial, the recent efforts by India's semiconductor missions will provide subsidies to a global scale with a medium-sized enterprises upstream supply chain and welcoming the part of SCL to benefit it. Now, this is not enough. Definitely, there are a lot more other part of incentive and policies improvement is required. So upgradation is something that will be inevitable in this context. And finally, the semiconductor and displays are the foundation of next phase of digital transformation under Industries 4.0. So the stakeholders, the government need to come up with the policy measures that is actually improving the part of manufacturing, and even R&D is something that is very important. Now moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday's questions. For first question, the correct option is A. For second question, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice आपको बताना है telemedicine health assistance and networking के बारे में. Its objective is to provide free telemedicine all over the country, and it is an initiative for Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. You can pause this video, you can read out the complete statement one by one, and then you can proceed for the answer. Second is positive Indianization list. Indian Armed Forces will have a procedures only for domestic manufacturers. The manufacturers would be able to only have a defense public undertaking and not the private sector. So these are the two statements. Do take a pause, read out the complete statement, then process your answers. So this was all about for daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.